there were 5 major initiatives that I said I was going to push, and I think in a year and a half we've made some substantive progress. Most of it, not all of it. Innovation in public school choice, we've pushed hard on that. Reorganizing the department, we out of whole cloth created an office of public school innovation and an office of public school choice, and hired a couple of people in the latter that no state had ever had before. One in single gender, pushing single gender as an option, choice for parents, for schools and districts wanted to provide it, and a little more recently Montessori, same thing in public schools. The idea partly was to come up with some choice options that we knew parents had an interest in, and also the teachers had an interest in, so we could get some early illustrations of what a choice-driven public school system might look like. And frankly, the single gender took off in a way I couldn't have predicted. Last year we had 97 public schools with single gender options. This year we'll have at least 250. I'm still not sure about the exact number. It might be a bit higher than that. The entire nation this year will have 500 public schools that offer single gender programs. South Carolina will have more than half. So in less than 2 years, we've become not just a national but an international leader in providing single gender options to parents and kids. We've done it at relatively low cost. One of the reasons I think single gender has taken off, one of a number of reasons, is that it is a low-cost option. You have 2 teachers, and they're teaching a co-ed class, and I'm teaching a co-ed class, and we decide next year to split up the genders, and you get some training, I get some training, and you can start running. Montessori is getting the same kind of response, but it's going to take a little longer because there's some upfront costs. You have to get the teachers trained. It's fairly lengthy and somewhat expensive training, and then you have to spend about $40,000 per classroom to get the Montessori material. So that's big. But one of the things I like to point out in terms of public school choice is single gender education. 250 schools will have to get the enrollments in all the classes. And I'm guessing somewhere north of 25,000 public school kids will be in a single gender choice that didn't exist less than 2 years ago. And I think that's more transparent, accountable, accessible choice than vouchers would have given us 20 years in terms of new kids having choices as opposed to subsidizing kids who are already in private schools. So I'm feeling pretty good about that. Now we've got a lot of other innovations going on. This year we'll have a number of schools, I think it's at least 5, that will have teams of teachers. I think I may have talked with you about this before. The idea of having teams of teachers who are responsible for groups of kids for more than one academic year, stay with them. Richland 2 has 2 of those teams in the early childhood years. I think K1, 2 years teams will be working. So we got some of that going on. TAP schools, which is a team approach. Teacher advancement programs. We'll have a little over 50 schools, by far more than any other state in the nation. So, we've got a lot of innovation going on. A lot of choices are being created. The reason I've been pushing the legislation for public school choice is that I'm worried it's going to become another equity issue. We're going to end up, I can already see it starting to evolve, we're going to end up with high choice public school districts, low choice public school districts, and no choice public school districts. And unfortunately, you can kind of predict in advance where some of these are going to be. So the idea of having legislation that requires every district in the state to devise, design a public school choice plan, and they have the different stakeholders that the legislation enumerates, I think is a way to start leveling that playing field, making sure every district is putting together a choice plan and getting it. We've already seen a little of this cross-district comparison. We have a website now that shows the choices that are presently in existence in the public schools, and we've seen, because we've got inquiries in the State Department, where parents will look at that and see where the district near them is offering X choice, and they'll call their district or call us in some cases and say, why in the blankety blank isn't my district offering this option or that option? So I think we'll start to see more and more of that sort of peer pressure. We also said we would try to do everything we could to make the accountability system more rational and constructive, and I think we made a major step in that direction this year with the reform of the Education Accountability Act.